Treasure Beneath the Sea. While reading the Chicago Tribune of Sunday, January 21st, 1979, a headline caught my eye: Drama, Treasure Beneath the Sea. Written by Carol Oppenheim, a Tribune writer and certified scuba diver who went into the sea with the treasure hunters, the article related the story of the discovery of the Spanish galleon Concepcion. As I had learned at an early age how to recognize, relate, assimilate, and apply principles, it flashed into my mind that the concept in Carol's account would be an excellent basis for this article. The following is a summary of Carol's article. The Concepcion sailed from Mexico in 1641, heavily loaded with silver coins, gold ingots, Chinese porcelain, and countless tons of other booty claimed by the Spanish crown. Not listed on the manifest were contraband, smuggled aboard by the officers and crew, which may have accounted for 20 to 50% of the cargo. A few weeks out of Veracruz, the Concepcion ran into an 8-day storm. With her masts gone, she limped toward Puerto Rico to make repairs. 80 miles off Hispaniola, now the Dominican Republic, the ship rammed into the coral reefs and foundered. In 1687, William Phipps found the wreck and, employing native divers who could stay underwater only 3 minutes at a time, recovered 32 tons of silver. Bert Weber, 36, who grew up in central Pennsylvania, developed a fascination with water when he was 6 years old. When interviewed, he said, "We had a mountain stream running into a mill, and I would swim in it, fantasizing about being on the bottom instead of the top. I began reading books on shipwrecks, and I knew I wanted to dive." At 16, Weber sold his coin collection to buy a scuba tank. Weber wanted to join the Navy but could not pass the physical because of his asthma. Instead, he enrolled in the Divers Training Academy in Miami. In 1961, he was hired by the Museum of Sunken Treasure in the Florida Keys. He took part in many treasure hunts, some of which met expenses. 5 years ago, Weber decided to shoot for a big one. He and Jack Haskins, 44, another treasure hunter based in Florida, were competitors until they decided to join forces a decade ago. Haskins became Weber's researcher, making annual trips to Spain to study naval archives. In 1974, Haskins came across documents detailing the aborted voyage of the Concepcion. He deduced that Phipps hadn't picked the wreck clean. What remained would be very lucrative, easy to find, and easy to salvage, since the shoals bottomed at an average depth of 65 feet. Armed with this information, a consortium of 30 investors raised $450,000 and set up a corporation now known as Sequest International to negotiate a contract with the Dominican Republic, providing for a 50-50 split of the treasure. Equipped with a magnetometer to record anomalies in the coral, Weber and Haskins, accompanied by a crew of divers, American map and coin experts, and a Dominican naval officer, searched the reef for 5 months. In 1977, they found 13 wrecks, none the Concepcion. "I bet we went right over her," Haskins said later, "but our mag wasn't sensitive enough to catch it." A year later, the treasure hunters learned that the log of Henry Phipps's ship had been found. It contained the precise compass points for the location of the lost galleon. In mid-November, carrying a newly developed portable magnetometer, the group set out again aboard the Samala. On the 6th day of the renewed search, the divers found an iron strap and a 17th-century Spanish olive jar. 3 days later, November 30th, they found the first silver coin. Then we just kept pulling up coins, 130 that first day, plus cups, plates, candlesticks, candle snuffers, and more olive jars. They found so much, they decided that numismatist Henry Taylor would have to move his operations to shore. Taylor chipped away the shards of coral and bathed the coins in muriatic acid. What he saw were rough-shaped circles containing about 1 ounce of silver, bearing the cross and shield of the King of Spain, and the date 1630.